Geländewagen, terrain vehicle. What is a Geländewagen? Well, this episode of Toy Talk will cover the Geländewagen, and some of you already know of it as one of the most expensive SUVs on the market today. Hi, I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'm in Iceland to see the volcanic eruption of the Geldingardalir volcano. It is just spectacular. Just look. People all over the world, and people are all around. This is a fissure volcano and dangerous, but not like an explosive volcano. It's just lava coming out of a vent and spilling on the ground. This started erupting in April 19th of 2020. What's happening now? Look, the cone wall is collapsing. Fascinating! Smash that like button because the safety officers are moving people back. Well, while moving back, I saw one of their vehicles. Wow, they must have a generous boss. It looks to me very much like a G-Wagon. I think we'll have to go on and get a closer look. It's not every day one gets an up-close look at a Mercedes-Benz G-Class SUV. Acting on the suggestion by the Shah of Iran, Mercedes moved into the SUV market and developed a competitive SUV to begin to occupy the space taken by the Land Rover Defender, the Toyota Land Cruiser, and the various Jeeps. Taking the Shah's advice, Mercedes developed the G-Wagon, also known as the G-Class, Geländewagen, or simply the G. The first G-Wagon hit the European roads in 1979. However, it wasn't until 1993 that the G-Wagons were able to be federally certified to sell in the United States. This was done by a small company in Santa Fe, New Mexico called Europa. 2001 rolls along. More than 20 years since the G-Wagon's debut, Mercedes finally decides that the American market is too large to ignore and begins importing a V8 powered version of the G-Class to the States. And by the way, no Mercedes imported G has had less than 8 cylinders in the US, making it a very unusual in the luxury SUV market. The G-Wagon was originally built to be a military off-roader, as the Shah suggested. But it wasn't until 3 years into production that a military actually bought them for service. Only later on did the G become a luxury icon with the poshest interiors and price tag to keep them highly exclusive. Today, the G-Wagon is only second in production longevity at Mercedes. It's second to the Mercedes Unimog. Talk about impressive. A vehicle that has had no major body redesign in over 40 years and still has sales increasing every year. Over 400,000 G-Wagons have been built over that lifespan, with no signs of sales slowing for the luxury behemoth of an SUV with old school looks, ultra posh modern interiors, and rugged go anywhere off-road capabilities. That is the power of the G-Wagon's charm. Certainly, if you were to drive one, the valet would keep it out front while you enjoy your dinner. Now, let's head on over to the rock quarry and review a 1/18th scale Mercedes G-Class from AutoArt and a 1/64th scale version from Paragon Models. And this is the AutoArt and Paragon models of the Mercedes G-Class.
The 1/18 scale, that's the big one in silver, is the AutoArt version, and it is a G500. The AutoArt item number is 76217. Unfortunately, it is now sold out, but when it was originally on the market, it was around $230, so it's a very expensive and nice model. The little one on its roof was in black is the Mercedes AMG G63 by Paragon Models, and its item number is 55163, also a really nice model in 1/64 scale. Now let's start off talking about the little one. Isn't that cool? AMG G63 is the souped up version of the G-Wagon, and they are very exclusive. Quite a bit more money. A little while ago they started at $163,000, and they start a little higher than that now. With this Paragon model, it's about $15 in 64 scale, which is a little expensive for a 64 scale, but just look at the detail level on it. Plus, let's face it, it's a Mercedes G-Wagon, so it should be a little more expensive. It's got the individual jewel style headlights, big Mercedes in it. This has got the horizontal bar grille. It has a die-cast metal construction. The chassis is plastic, but that's all right. It has soft rubber tires on plastic wheels. It has the running boards, and it has hard plastic windows. It is actually a two-tone with the silver stripe down the side. It's gloss black at the top of the hood, and the roof is matte black. It's kind of hard to tell it, but if you look, you can see the fenders are shiny and the hood isn't. On the back, it has LBWK on the spare tire, which is mounted on the back door. Now, no doors open, but it does have individual jewel style brake lights back there. Really, really sharp. It has driver's and passenger mirror, plus a little spotter mirror. These two little silver things, those are your turn signals up on the hood and your marker lights. Awesome machine that Paragon Models made. It would look amazing sitting outside some fancy restaurant on your layout, or a Mercedes dealer, or just sitting in the rich guy's house at his driveway. Really nice. Set that aside, and now let's talk about the AutoArt version. Now, this is 1/18 scale, so it's quite a bit heavy. You could tell the difference between 1/18 and 1/64. It's quite a bit bigger in size. It is silver. It is a die-cast metal construction. It has hard plastic windows in it. A full detailed interior, including paint trim to look like the wood gnarled dash and other trim accessories that are inside, including the steering wheel. It has openable doors on this one, and they're hinged just like the real ones, so that they actually don't, swing out like you would normally see on 1/18 scales. Look at that interior in there. Isn't that cool? Front and back row seats. Focus on. All your instrument cluster is complete. The little display, there's a fire extinguisher in front of the front seat, and it's got soft carpeting inside. Really sharp. Door panels are full detailed. They went all out. Even the seat belts are hanging there from the ceiling for the second row seats. Really cool. Also, when we turn around to the back door opens as well. And then you can see the full carpeted interior of the back panel, the windshield wiper and that, and then the full carpeted back area. Really cool. Now note, it says G-Class, spelled K-L-A-S-S-E. That is the German spelling of class, and it's really Klaus. G-Class. It has individual dual style brake lights and marker lights. Looks like one of them is even missing. The little reflector down there. The Mercedes logo on the spare tire. Now this isn't the AMG, this is the G500, which is just a tuned down version and a little less posh interior, but still an incredible machine. These started at like 120,000 and went up from there. It's got the V8 logo because all American G-Wagons had V8s or bigger. They even have now the G65, which has a V12 under the hood. Has mirrors with its little marker lights on it. These doors also open, so you can see the entire interior in there. It has the fuel filler door, and the trim molding around is all individual parts on this model. It's got plastic wheels and soft rubber tires on them, which look really sharp. The roof, it has a sunroof, but the sunroof is a solid one and it does not open. But the engine hood does open. It's got the marker turn signals up on the hood, which work just like it. Note how flat that windshield. I mean, this thing is a box. Terrible aerodynamics, not great fuel economy, but you're riding in such style you don't care. And if you can afford the price tag, what's fuel anyway? It's not something you're worried about paying. Oh God, the gas is too expensive for this thing. It has its individual windshield wipers. They're hard plastic, ABS. You can see the trim all the way around. They did an amazing job. The hood is there with the Mercedes-Benz logo there, and then the great big Mercedes logo in the grille. This one has the bar grille. It has, on both of these, individual jewel style running lights and individual jewel style headlights. Really sharp. They did a great job. Now the hood opens, and look, it's even got the piston that helps hold it up. That little grill there for the air intake is also, at the cowl, is actually a grill piece that's put on later. Underneath, you can see the V8 bit turbo engine, because these had a turbocharged V8. Really, really a powerful machine for what they were. And it gave it that ability to pretty much go anywhere with its size. And its rugged build is just an amazing off-road machine. You couldn't really ask for a better machine than a G-Class for off-roading and luxury combined. Now the earlier ones were underpowered. They even had a 4-cylinder version which had no horsepower at all. But the American versions that were exported by Mercedes all had big power for what they are. Now down here underneath, you can see the working front steering. It does not have working suspension, but it does have working steering. It has its front differential, its rear differential, and the transfer case off the transmission. And there's a locking differential in all three places. Really cool. Great representation of everything underneath. And look at the exhaust. It comes out here, cats, pre-muffler, big muffler, and then it dumps out right in front of the rear axles, just like the real ones. Now, if it was a G, it would point out. If it was a G, if it was an AMG model, they would be square blocks pointing out, but this is just the G-Wagon, so they just point straight down for that exhaust. And there's the big fuel tank. Really awesome. It's got skid plates, nice frame. These are a body-on-frame design machine. Very hard to find in an SUV these days to find an actual frame and body design. They're all pretty much all unibodies except for this one. And in luxury, you can't beat a G-Wagon. And for a model, you would expect them to be expensive, and it's no longer available, but it is a classic machine that if you could ever find one to put on yourself, I would totally recommend it. And you can get the little one. Let's put him down in front. See the difference in size? 1/18 versus 1/64. Roughly 4 times smaller than that one. If this was 16, it would be 4 times smaller, but it's 1/18, so it's just about 4 times smaller. And that is the silver AutoArt G500 in 1/18 scale die-cast metal, and the black Paragon Models AMG G63 in 1/64 scale. The famous G-Class and G-Wagons from Mercedes-Benz.
Whew! Weren't those models beautiful? And seriously, how many of you would like to drive a real G-Wagon? Let me know down in the comments. While limited supplies last, get the 1/64 scale G-Wagon by Paragon Models with the links down below. Available now in black, white, and yellow. Coming soon, alien green and china blue versions. Links to all will be down below until they sell out, which is a given that they will. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's it for this trip to Iceland. I gotta head back to the States. But please go on and smash that like button, share this video, drop your comments, and subscribe to my channel for more great videos on the best die-cast models. I'm Logan, the 64 of the Gear Jammer Skeele, and I'll be back to the warehouse soon with another episode of Toy Talk.